G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here. If you would like to support me just a little bit, hit that subscribe button. Will help out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Otherwise, Super Rugby Round 10, Super Round, Trans-Tasman, Anzac Round / Melbourne Tour is underway for the fourth game. Actually, this is technically the fifth game of the weekend. Highlanders versus the Brumbies. This game was a game that was kind of intriguing going into this match. Both teams really loved the kicking game. Highlanders has been criticized a lot in New Zealand for doing too much kicking, whereas the Brumbies, I thought, it kind of like a bit of an opposite approach. The Aussie pundits kind of like praised the Brumbies kicking game. The way the Brumbies manage their kicking is pretty similar to like international test team. Really try to ping the opposition into their own half and try to use that forward pack dominance, the set piece dominance, to force penalties, to force opportunities for their own team. The Highlanders, on the other hand, kind of play a similar game, but it's more of a kick and chase style instead of a kick and pressure style. I guess it's kind of same, but the Highlanders is also known as a kicking game. So two teams, both kicking, known to be heavily kicking. Coming out with the Brumbies ahead for this one. The Highlanders didn't miss out Aaron Smith in this match, so it did look like at the beginning, especially the first 20 minutes or so, the Brumbies looked a lot better than the Highlanders. It did look like the Highlanders was outpaced by the Brumbies, and being on the back foot for pretty much like the first 20 minutes or so, and really allow the Brumbies to put themselves ahead quite a bit. And the Brumbies, in typical Brumbies fashion, once they're ahead, they just manage the game. That's what the Brumbies do. That's what Brumbies has been doing this season. Quite different from what they do last season, where the Brumbies try to kind of execute their set piece every opportunities they had. This season is more about managing that lead. So not quite the try scoring machine that the Brumbies was last year, but they did manage quite well to close out the game. The Brumbies had the return of Noah Lolesio, who I thought played really well, much better than he was before he got injured. To be really frank, his game management actually helped Brumbies quite a lot in some of those opportunities to score their tries, and his kicking has been improved a lot as well. His kicking was hovering around like 60% before he was injured, and this game I think he only missed one kick right from the sideline. So it was quite much better performance by Noah Lolesio coming back. The Highlanders had a bit of shuffling in their back line. They have Banks at number 10 and Mitchell Hunt at 15. It did really show that the Highlanders lacked a lot of the game management from Mitchell Hunt. I thought this was a big mistake by the management here. Mitchell Hunt's game management is a lot better than Banks. And especially without Aaron Smith, the Highlanders looked, despite having a lot of opportunities, especially in the second half, to score points, it just looked like the options that they were opted to go for weren't weren't very, I guess, dynamic. And also it looked like the Highlanders was what do you call it? It really looked like they were lacking a little bit of that creativity that Mitchell Hunt brings to the team at 10 position. So this was probably a game that the Brumbies, got away already from the first 20 minutes. The Brumbies did play really poorly once again in the set piece. The Highlanders actually had scrum dominance this game, and the lineouts were also really poor for the Brumbies as well. So the Highlanders should have capitalized on that. And the Highlanders forwards actually worked really well to secure quick ball as well throughout the game. But I felt like the lack of game management from Banks at 10 position, as opposed to what Hunt was able to bring, really kind of hurt them a little bit. Now, this might be a little bit of a controversial take. Let me know your thoughts there. So overall, the tries, 2 tries to 3, the Highlanders and against the Brumbies, 284 meters for Highlanders, 346 against the Brumbies. The turnovers conceded, 11 Highlanders and 14 for the Brumbies. Tackles, 106 for the Highlanders, 16 missed tackles. Brumbies, 151 tackles, 14 missed tackles. Conversions, not a lot of seal, missed 1 from the sideline. Otherwise, 5 out of 6. That's pretty good. Highlanders, 3 out of 3. 30 kicks in play from hand and 27 from the Brumbies. So yeah, both pretty high kicking numbers. We saw like, single-digit kicking numbers. Definitely in the teens in terms of kicking numbers from, the Reds game essentially versus Hurricanes. So this is like, pretty much double the amount of kicking that was done based between from the previous game or so. The lineouts, Brumbies once again very like amateur errors in the lineout. 3 lineouts lost. One loss for the Highlanders. Scrum one apiece, but the Highlanders did have scrum dominance overall throughout the game. The penalties conceded 13 apiece. No cards this game. So yeah, both teams really disciplined. It was not like high shots everywhere. So really, really well managed in that regards. Overall, this game was kind of like I mentioned, it kind of like got out of hand. Not got out of hand. It kind of like the Brumbies came out of the gates just 1-2 step faster than the Highlanders right from the get-go. Some really good kicking game from Nick White. Really like right away pinged the Highlanders inside their own half and getting like a 10-meter line out for the Brumbies. And so a minute into the game, the Brumbies has a line out opportunity in 10 minutes out from the Highlanders. And it was really easy like set piece as well. The ball comes out quick, goes to Lolosio, pass to his center, and he just like loops around, gets the ball, and immediately this was an overlap, just a really basic like loop play. Lolosio gets 2 touches on the ball, and he finds Tom Wright wide open. Tom Wright runs in. He looked like he was having a nice little jog on the beach. Sees like open try line, tries to put the ball down with one hand, and he drops the ball. Oh, this was so embarrassing. This was like, I could not believe it. He could have just dive over the try line. Instead, he decided to just casually put the ball down with one hand, and he drops the ball. Oh, that was embarrassing. If they lost the game because of that, that would have been super, super embarrassing. But yeah, 1 minute into the game, the Brumbies almost pretty much scored, but Tom Wright drops the ball on the try line, and no try was given there. So eventually it took 10 minutes for the Brumbies to finally get their first try on the ball. The Brumbies actually lost a couple of lineouts right from the get-go, despite having numerous opportunities. There was another opportunity for a penalty. Lineout goes for a little variation. They did a bit of fake more, and then the ball comes out. Just a short crash ball from Nick White to Brown, goes in for the first try for the Brumbies. Finally gets the first try after 10 minutes instead of 10 minutes later after that fumble. And then it took about another 7 minutes before the Brumbies gets another opportunity. Nick White, he actually gets warned by the referee at this point for back-chatting to him, despite being the captain. And then a minute later, Nick White did some really good job to get the ball turn over for the Brumbies. And the Highlanders was giving away penalties as well. So the referees gives a warning to the Highlanders, and then the Brumbies, they do what they do best from last year. They go for a line-out, sets up a more try. And that was the only more try the Brumbies set up. And that was the only more that was effective against the whole game. I was really surprised. I thought they could have gone for more of those opportunities. So Lachie Lonergan gets this one. The recipient of the more try. 14 points to nil. The Brumbies up less than 20 minutes into the game. And after that, the Brumbies were able to just manage the game for the first half, try to manage the game for the first half, but the Highlanders were able to get themselves kind of like back into the game with some really good kicking game for themselves. The pressure, you can slowly see the pressure come off of the Brumbies after this flurry of really, really high octane kick performance by the Brumbies, where the Highlanders were not able to keep up. And then there was just small mistakes started to build. There were just like missed passes, drop balls by the Brumbies, and really just allowing the Highlanders back into the game. On the 34th minute, Highlanders finally get the opportunity for a 5-meter line-out penalty, and they go for a maul. That was stopped, and then Highlanders just had another penalty for illegal collapsing of the maul, And then Highlanders just takes a quick tap. Few phases later, Umanga Jason, the big man in center field, finds himself a mismatch against Nick White. Just runs him over, essentially. Goes in for the first try for the Highlanders on the 35th minute. And right before halftime, right on the dot of halftime, the Brumbies managed to squeeze himself out. Another penalty and kicks that one. So halftime score 7 points to 17. At halftime, the tackle count was, like, the game stats was pretty even at halftime. 57 tackles to the Highlanders, 55 for the Brumbies, 7 missed tackles, 6 missed tackles for the Brumbies, 14 kicking for the Highlanders, 11 kicking for the Brumbies, lineouts, 8 for the Highlanders, 9 to the Brumbies, but Brumbies had 2 missed lineouts already in the first half, and penalty count 7 to the 6. Highlanders just up 1, and the run meters, the Brumbies really had much more run meters in the first half. 201 run meters to the Highlanders, 121. So Brumbies was feeling probably more, probably feel like they should have been further up in the scoreboard based on how much run meters they have. And if they haven't had that low period where they kind of just led Highlanders back into the game due to their own mistakes. So second half kind of starts underway. There was an early penalty for the Brumbies. And again, you can see the Brumbies in game management mode. They're no longer going like, unlike, last year where the Brumbies wanted to execute their set piece every opportunity they had, no matter how much point they were up ahead. They always want to get further ahead with lineouts, with more. But yeah, at this point, the Brumbies wanted more than happy to take the 3. So they take the first 3 points, 3 minutes into the second half, and then the Brumbies just giving away a bunch of city penalties, really allowing the Landers back into the game right away. So on the 48th minute, the Highlanders gets a 5-meter line out, just a nice little short ball off the line out, and then just starts running. And then just start like crashing the 9 and 10 channel, and then there was another ball, comes just another short ball from 9 to the number 7. Lenges, is that his name? To the number 7, who just charges over with like a nice little angle run into the 12th channel and goes in for the second try for the Highlanders. And then suddenly the score is 14 points to 20, and it's looking like the Highlanders could potentially, come back. And Brumbies is still definitely looking at their like timid, and they're like currently in the defensive mode, trying to hold out mode, despite there's still like over 30 minutes left on the field, right? On the 55th minute, I think it was the Brumbies line out thrown no straight, just and this was what's his name, the Wallabies hooker coming off the bench. What is his name? God, his name just slipped my mind. Falau Faenga. Just basic mistakes like that's really starting to hurt Brumbies as well. But the Highlanders, given the opportunity, was not able to really do much with it due to their own kind of, like I said, maybe not having Mitchell R10 was a mistake here. There was a scrum penalty against the Highlanders on the 57th minute. So then the Lolosio takes another 3, putting the Brumbies 23 points to 14 up. But still, even with this game management, the Highlanders was not able to breach the Brumbies defense. On the 66th minute, after like a really long period of the Highlanders just kind of like in the Brumbies half and not able to score, Highlanders finally decides to take a 3-point kick. It really shows they kind of like, feeling like they're not going to have, they're kind of losing that confidence on breaching the try line at this point. Looks almost like they do take the 3 here, get themselves back 17 points to 23 for the Highlanders. And the Brumbies, and as well, looking really like in the game management mode at this point, despite they just lost 3 points here and they're still leading the game, they're just like walking back really slowly to do this re-kick. And I was like, there's still like over 20 minutes left on the clock. They're already looking like they're just taking the time to do the kickoff and trying to kind of like run the clock down a little bit. On the 69th minute, the Landers almost steals one here. They were just like, they did a really nice kick, grab it down, kick down the sideline. The ball just like bounces into the corner, and then one of the Highlanders player runs up, one hand on the ball, looked like he slapped the ball down. Like he reached around, what's his name? Andy Muirhead. Muirhead was just like not even expecting. He reached around Andy Muirhead from behind and put a hand down on the ball, but he just, not able to put that down cleanly, so no try. That was literally the only opportunity the Landers had getting over the try line. So yeah, it was really kind of flat for the Highlanders for their efforts in terms of their attack. Finally, on the 71st minute, the Brumbies gets last opportunity from to attack, and this opportunity was looking really good, really well organized. Some really fast ball on the breakdown, and then the Brumbies suddenly is just having a lot of forward momentum. Simone, I think it's Simone Ione, carves up open the center field due to the Highlanders kind of like scrambling back on the defense. That he just carves open like a massive gap in the center field. He runs in towards the corner. As he's getting tackled, pops the ball out wide to Noah Lolosio. Dots the ball down into the corner. Really, really nice play by the Brumbies. Really fast and furious pace. And then that was, the Brumbies. Lolosio misses the conversion, 28 points to 2017. That's the way the game ended. The last 8 minutes of the game, the Highlanders tried to really come back. On the 75th minute, it looked like the Highlanders has an opportunity to score and still potentially pull the game back. Just poor handling. Misses that opportunity. On the 78th minute, the Highlanders has another opportunity to score a try here. They had I think it was maybe like a 7-meter line out. Pretty close to the Brumbies try line. I thought for sure they were going to go for the maul. They throws the ball, let's throw the ball in, and they just pop the ball right back to the hooker, who tries to run down the sideline, but it was just a bit too far. Like, it was 7 meters out and gets pushed out the sideline, and that was it. That was the final opportunity. The Highlanders had to score a try in the second half. To score a try to potentially still win the game, and then Brumbies gets the ball, runs the clock out, and closes the game. So that's the end of the game, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Mitchell Hunt at 15 is a mistake? I felt like Highlanders should put him back at 10. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe. Helps me a lot. YouTube is just one of those things. You gotta play with the algorithm. Otherwise, Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you a bit later for the Crusaders game. And cheers.